Is it better? Better? It seems to be. Okay, it seems to be on this end, so let me know if it's not better on your end. I know there's a bit of a delay. Oh, now it looks like I'm frozen. The fun of Facebook Live. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll skip those couple minutes. I hope everyone is having a great week. If this is your first time here, I'm going to change the name of my Facebook Lives to, I don't know, something about technology and the constant learning curve. But can I just tell you, I am so excited for you to see my project this week. I just finished designing it at about 6:40, so less than an hour ago. Actually, maybe a little bit less than that. But it was something that I've had in my head probably about 24 hours, but I just didn't get a chance to do that because I had to run out at lunch. And sorry, a little bit more here. And it is, hi, Feline. Hi, Susan. Hope everyone's having a great week. I'm glad you're just tuning in now. You missed the sound issues at the beginning. Don't mind my hair. I put my bangs back early this morning and forgot about them, and now this is what we have to deal with. So I had the idea in my head for about 24 hours, but just didn't get around to it because it's busy. Work is busy, life is busy, everything's busy. I was thinking as I was chowing down some food that last Saturday I had my Just Peachy bingo. This coming Saturday, I've got a full day training thing that I'm in. Sunday is our VIP party. And yeah, it just keeps going. So I didn't have a chance. Oh, good. Yeah, technology. So I think I found that my AirPods are the best I'm going to get microphone wise. Let me know if the sound is good. I know it's not garbled anymore, but does it sound okay? Is the volume okay? Because I mean, I've tried, I don't know how many microphones. This is the most recent one. And I watched the guy from Amazon deliver it and he tossed it onto my steps. Now, I don't think that's why it's not working, but I'm getting really tired, and I'm sure Amazon is too, of me ordering things and then sending them back. So I think maybe I'm just going to stick with these. Megan, she got there fine. I am doing okay. We'll see how things are going. I'm doing better than I thought I would be, but I think again that's part of her having moved out twice before already. So she made it there okay. There was a major hailstorm, but they pulled over and everything was fine. Um, I don't remember where I was going with all of this, but I think we're going to go with this. Now, I want to show you, you can see that I am finally going to be using the Handsomely Suited bundle. You probably thought I had forgotten about Father's Day. Truth be told, I hadn't forgotten, but I thought it was actually this coming Sunday, and I was so not prepared. I was thrilled to find out that it's actually June 20th, which is, where am I getting this glare from? I don't usually wear my glasses. I haven't been, and I think that's why I'm getting a headache every day. But I needed them for driving today because it's a rainy day and it was lousy out. Uh, oh, UPS too. Well, this guy was Amazon and he literally like fantastic. Um, so June 20th is Father's Day, so I've bought myself some more time, but I couldn't wait to show you this because if you have to mail a Father's Day card, you need to get it out sooner rather than later. You may have already done it, but I want to show you this. Before I show you the adorable project for tonight, I want to show you, if you missed my video this past Monday, it's not too late, but this is what I created. So this was the Facebook Live. Hi, Pam. This was my original Facebook Live last week, and I messed it up. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to delete it, and I'll redo it on Thursday. And then my huge order came, and I did an unboxing of that. And it was like the second last night my daughter was here before she was moving. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it as my video. So this is what I came up with. The waves went way too high up. You can't see the whale as much as I would have liked. But using that rainbow glimmer paper totally changed up those fish. I used these fish from the Seascape bundle. I used Shark Frenzy, Whale Done, the layering diorama dies, of course, and yeah. So that is the card on my YouTube channel for this week. I have next week's all figured out. It's been sitting around for weeks, but it was part of bingo, and I didn't want to wreck the surprise because one of my bingo participants only received it maybe 2 days before bingo. Oh, breathe. So last night was my monthly team meeting. If you are in Canada and would like to join a fun and growing team, you can consider joining Crafted AF. We are growing strong. So we had our monthly team meeting last night and we did mystery stamping. We learned some things. I learned some things, how we're going to do it differently. But I wanted to show you what I came up with. Now, it's not entirely my design. I'm going to adjust that a little bit. Now, it probably makes it worse on my eyes, but I saw an idea like this on Pinterest. So they used the 3-inch, one of the mini embossing folders. And I thought, oh, let's do that. And then use the Count on Me bear. Now, the bear on the inspiration card had these cute little red and white polka dot overalls. The artist drew them on. It was adorable. But I used the Sending Hugs bundle. It's so cute, right? So when you die cut the hugs, you end up with a negative as well. So I decided to pull in the bunny from the Wildly Adorable stamp set. And isn't it so cute? Like, look at the Dottie embossing folder. Oh, speaking of which, the Dottie Hearts embossing folders are in stock. So if you have been waiting impatiently for those like I have, they're in. Okay, so that is the outside. And we've got Sending You This Paper Hug on the inside. My baker's twine is all crooked. On the inside of this one, which I am going to send to one of my sweet friends, thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. And then this one from the Peekaboo Farm and the Biggest Wish, I used the thank you embossing folder, colored my little piggy, and look, there's Wink of Stella on his or her nose. And then I used the In Color Shimmer Vellum. This vellum, if you haven't ordered this, if you haven't considered it, oh, pictures do not do it justice. Like, you can see the shine in there, right? So they come in the 5 in colors and oh, so fantastic. So on the inside of this one, thank you for all the little things you do and for your big heart. So those will be in my next D-stash. Well, this one won't be because I'm sending it out, but these two will be. And speaking of D-stash, if you, isn't it? If you caught my D-stash Facebook Live 2 weeks ago, you saw a Hydrangea Hill card. I'm trying not to get the glare on my glasses, but if I look up, I get those lights, and if I move down, I get this light. I could just take them off, right? I don't wear them that often. Dave's probably like, we paid how much for those glasses and you don't wear them? Also, the headache every day. Anyways, the Hydrangea Hill card, which I can't show you because it's already gone in the mail to its lucky new owner, I am creating that for you tonight. Now, if you are familiar, I'm using the Handsomely Suited bundle, finally. But if you are familiar with a typical easel card, I had to do like a polo shirt. Like, how stinking cute is this? So a typical easel card is like this. So you take your 4 1/4 by 11 card base and you score it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then it just stands like that. And how cute is this belt and belt loops? So very simple. I didn't put an insert on this one yet, but I will. But how cute is that? So polo shirt and some khakis. And then, so this is the one that I'm so proud of, although I do have lessons learned that I will share with you. And I should have learned it from when I created the card in the first place, but I didn't. I'm not that smart. This one, look at that shirt. So it's another polo shirt. It's got a gold belt buckle. It's got it. This guy's wearing jeans, so he's got his belt loops and the belt because it looked silly without a belt. I added a magnet in there, but remember when I showed you the Hydrangea Hill, it had a gift card, and so many people wanted to get their hands on that card. I don't know if it was the Hydrangea bundle or if it was the fact that it was a fun fold with a gift card in there, but I did that, and this time, instead of putting the gift card up here, let me show you why I don't want it up there. It's because it really raises this piece too much so that it doesn't stay down, which is why I needed that magnet. So we are going to change that for this one. Remind me because I may forget, but we are going to put the gift card down here. I think it will work. So I just have a dummy gift card here. My kids are always like, "You have an Amazon gift card. I want to spend it." And I'm like, "It's empty." Okay, so we will do that. Now, I will say that I am using a retired product, which I don't usually do, but you can get this from We Are Memory Keepers, or if you still have your envelope punch board, because let's be honest, why would you get rid of it? I don't know why Stampin' Up! Got rid of it. You're going to need that for this envelope. I mean, you could probably make it without, but it would be tricky. So let me show you how to do this. I'm not going to use the same paper this time, but look at the angle on that one. It's quite a bit different than the angle on this. And you could probably change that, but let me show you this. We're going to use some different DSP because I'm running out of DSP, which is funny because I haven't used this that much. So you have your say in what color our shirt's going to be. So is it going to be the white with basic gray? It's like a grid paper. Or the B side of that one. I guess it could be A or B. So the red with little flowers. Pinstripe seems a little formal for a polo shirt, but I mean, it could be. It's really slim pickings here. We do have one of these. Oh, we could do this one. It's fairly close to what I had done earlier. So which one will it be? So I need at least 4 1/4 for the shirt, and then I need 5 by 5 for the envelope. So you tell me which one it should be. Whew. And then that will determine what color cardstock I use for the base, because I can't prep the base until I know which paper. Okay, Megan says red with little flowers, so we've got 1 vote for that. Also, I used, I want to say Flirty Flamingo, Frozen Margarita on my nails. How bright is that? A little brighter than I'm used to. Okay, Feline says the black and blue plaid style. So 1 and 1. Just imagine the Jeopardy music going on in the background. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you, but it's gone. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, it's called Frozen Margarita. It wasn't one that I thought I would like, but it is neon. Okay, so far these ones. This one is polo shirty. I like that. Okay, so we've got 2 for this one. This one is just so grandpa, isn't it? Like I can see my mom's dad, my grandpa on like my maternal grandpa. I can see him wearing this outfit. This is more dad, I think. Like I could see my brother wearing this. Okay, so I think we're tied 2 and 2. It sucks because I can't prep anything until I know which DSP. I mean, at this point, it looks like we'd be safe to go with navy. Oh, I'm full. I ate too much too fast. Oh, I could mention that I was going to say delivery, the deadline for creativity delivered is on the 20th, which is Father's Day. So Tiffany and I are using the Friends Are Like Seashells this month, so don't hesitate. Oh, we're still tied. Next one to come in we're going to take this one out of the mix because it seems to be losing. Next one that comes in is the tiebreaker. While we wait, does anyone I got a Roomba a few months ago, and I'm thinking now I want the mop version, the Bravo. Bravo, the mop version of iRobot. If anyone has that, let me know because I don't want to clean floors anymore. I want a robot to do it. And now that we have like all hard, not wood, but hard flooring, I'm finding little dust bunnies like floating around. I'm like, Rosie, you're not doing your job. But I do want a mop. So someone let me know. Hi, Linda. We're waiting for a tiebreaker. Right now, we are going to make this card perfect for Father's Day. And I'm just waiting to find out if we are, hi, Kathy, if we're using this one or this one. Now, when the time comes, you can decide if we want coordinating. And I mean, to me, that's kind of part of the fun is to have that little bit of the shirt on the inside. So think of this kind of like an undershirt. And I think I like the fact that they all coordinate. So we'll do that. It's either the plaid or the red. Red one. Tiebreaker. Okay, so I am going to be keeping one of these for Father's Day. The other two will be up for grabs, which is kind of the case with this. So maybe I'll do tonight because it's kind of a perk of watching live, right? At the end of this live stream, offering. Okay, it looks like we're good now. It's all in the green. Okay, so I do need both of these sheets. So one of them I need to, let's get down to business now that we know. I'm going to use Night of Navy for the pants. Okay, so 4 1/4, we want it to be the full width and length of the card base. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Hey, I hope it's still going because I just got a thing from the provider that I use. Hi, Jenny. Okay, and then this one, we need it to be 5 by 5. So if you're just joining, we do need the envelope punch board for this. They're just, I know that I don't keep retired product, but there are just some things that you can't get by with, you can't get by without. Okay, so let's do Night of Navy. I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. I like to score first and then cut. I find that I get a straighter cut that way. So we need it at the 5 1/2. We'll cut it at 4 1/4. So this gives us 2 card bases. I'm just going to use one. Cut through. This is a brand new blade. There we go. So now, and I remember to write down the measurements because I was using it on my iPad. I'm like, well, that's not going to work when it comes time to do it. So you are seeing the baby card. Okay, so we are scoring it at 1 1/4. So I always like to do those smaller scores to the right of the blade. So 1 1/4. I'm going to turn it around, score it at 3 inches. And then we've already got our 5 1/2. So that is going to be mountain. This one's going to be valley. But if you fold it the wrong way, just flip it around and you're good to go. So that is the basis. Now, if you wanted it to be maybe, this is kind of a lazy easel card, isn't it? Like he's leaning back in a recliner. Not so bad for a Father's Day card, right? But if you want it to be higher up, you would just put your stopper there. Just know that it would give you a very little amount for your sentiment, although you could put panels up here. But we are going to put our envelope in there this time so that it doesn't add more bulk to this part. And I hope that makes sense. So with an easel card, you usually have something that keeps it from falling down. I had to use a magnet because this just added too much bulk so that these little pockets couldn't hold it up. Aren't those pockets cute? I was on the phone with Dave and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such a genius. I'm like, but you know that already, right? Oh, that's weird. uh, okay, we are kind of frozen, aren't we? Um, if you refresh, it seems to be okay. So Julie, just go to the top of your browser and hit refresh. I did that because it was kind of stuck for me as well. So just do that. Sorry, I wish I could make it all good and okay, but I can't. Okay, so first step is I'm actually going to cut this card base because we need some cardstock for the back. Okay, yeah, if you find that it's buffering or that it's frozen, you can either leave and come back in, or you can just hit refresh and it should be better. I do have dedicated internet in here. There's no one home, so even if there was, no one's using up my Wi-Fi, but I do have dedicated internet for just my Stamped AF stuff now. Okay, so we do need, and on the way home was the most torrential rain I think I've ever driven in. It was nuts. Wipers couldn't go fast enough. It accumulated so quickly. And then, of course, I got my drive-through soaking. And this girl could not have talked slower or quieter. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, I'm getting soaked here. Talk faster. Okay, so these buttons, you know, if I moved this in, I wouldn't have to move so far out of frame. So I have at least the next week YouTube video determined, and I'm ahead of the game because usually that doesn't happen. Hi, Roz. It doesn't look like it's buffering here, Jenny, so I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. If it's too bad to watch, then the replay should be okay. I know that's not what you want to hear, but sometimes that is the best option. I just realized I had started doing my with my team meetings. I record them, and I started to put it in my software so that I can save it to YouTube instead of just watching it through Zoom, and I got sidetracked. So for those of my team members watching that were not able to make it last night or want to catch the replay, it should be up tonight. I can tell there's a little bit of glue stuck on there. For the collar, you have to be very careful. This thing is like tied together by a thread. I just used 2 little minis. It seemed to be enough to pop it up, and then we'll trim a little V in there. Hi, Karen. Hi, Diana. I'm multi-streaming. Technology is not always my friend, but I strive further. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not tech savvy at all, right? But the thing is, I figure something out and then I strive for more. So that's why it probably seems like I'm always having issues. It's because I'm always pushing the envelope just a little bit farther. Okay, so I've cut out that V. That little part isn't the best, but I mean, honestly, how many people are gonna, well, this one's a hot mess. How many people are gonna turn around and be, oh, look at that. As long as they don't say it to me, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna add a little line of glue here. And my putty tool to pick that up. And if you have any kind of faux pas with your little V cut there, you can hide it with this. I always stop just a little short of where I need the glue to go. That might have been a little bit too much, but c'est la vie. You got booted too. What is going on? And no one's even home. If they were, they're not. No one has the password to my internet. And I've still got like my TV and other devices on our home internet, so that when I do go live, it's just my devices in here. Even my printers are on the home internet. Eee. Okay, I think the white buttons were the way to go. I think red would have been a little too much. You could pop up the pocket. I find just gluing it down is enough. Okay, so that part is done. We can adhere that on here. Now, I do recommend, oh, weird. Well, I'm glad you came back, Feline. I do recommend putting your adhesive on this part. You don't want to be guessing how far to put it on this piece. So keep it standing, line it up. You don't want it to go over that score line. Make sure that it's all good there. I've got a little bit of extra DSP, but it's not the end of the world. And then I will put that under something for a few minutes while we work on the belt. What shall I put it under? So for the belt, we are using a piece of soft suede. It needs to be at least 4 1/4 inches wide. And I think we're going to kind of eyeball this. So these are about 1 1/8 in length. So let's just do 1 inch for our belt. And you could do stitching on this. I thought about using one of the stitched rectangles, but it was just a tiny bit too short in the ends. It would have been great to have the stitching, but it would have looked funny, and sometimes it's just not worth the effort. You think that it's going to be, and not necessarily. Okay, so for the belt buckle, I tried using some of the ornate frames, not these. This is from last week's video, and it was too wide. So it wasn't going to fit because our belt only has so much room in here. It's only got like 1 1/4 inches. So I thought, okay, let's use the rectangle punch. Everybody loves a punch, right? But still a little bit too wide. So I took my favorite little guillotine trimmer Jenny and I just trimmed off those little scallops. I don't know what those are. It just reminds me of a ticket, like, you know, a movie ticket, or like if you're at a carnival or something. So I do want it to be a little bit wider than the belt itself. So let's do this at 1 1/8, which is, I can't figure out where the line is. That is the same as the belt loops. So there we go. And then we need another piece of soft suede, which of course I just put away. And that needs to be 1 inch as well. And I don't recall what the length was, but let's measure that, shall we? I think it needs to be 1 3/4 because this is 2 inches. And I just gradually cut it back. I started at 1 7/8, and there wasn't enough. I didn't have an even border on both sides. Now, whenever I am working with metallics, and this is the brushed metallic, and I know 2 retired products in one night for someone that never does this. I always use Seal or Seal Plus. It's like, do ya? I'm not going to let you. I do that because I find that if I use liquid glue, it slides around and just makes a mess. As soon as it gets outside of that cardstock, you might as well toss it out because it's never going to look shiny again. And I mean, this is brushed, so it's not all that shiny to begin with. But I've just found that it never looks the same. So I prefer to use a dry adhesive, if you could call it that. Okay, so let's just glue our belt down. I don't know if anyone's done anything like this. I know that when this bundle first came out, there was someone that did a suit. It was like a Zoom call. So it was a suit jacket on top and shorts on the bottom, because the situation we've been in for the last, 18 months, you can get away with shorts and a suit jacket. but I haven't seen anything like this. If there is something that exists, I promise you I haven't seen it. So I'm not casing anyone. If anything, I'm casing myself because this is that hydrangea card that you wanted to see from 2 weeks ago. But this is a masculine version. Okay. Ah! For a second there, I thought I forgot the pockets, but I didn't. That is the next part. Okay, so this guy either has some navy khakis, which sounds funny, or he has got some dark wash jeans. And I bet they're ironed too. Oh, cute, Joanne. To be honest, I think this is maybe the second time I've played with this bundle. I have like a full Pinterest board of things that I've wanted to try, and I just haven't gotten to it. Okay, so this time I am going to put, don't you just love these pockets? So I Googled belt buckle to find this. I know we're missing the actual thing. You could put the, I don't know, the thing that goes into the hole. You can put that on there. But I looked up jean pockets and I'm like, oh, what could I use that has stitching? Any guesses as to what I used? We are going to put them up higher this time. This guy doesn't sit back in his recliner. He sits up. He's got like a posturepedic chair. This one's sitting back. He's in my recliner, which I finally got back now that my daughter moved. I think she's the only one that's had the nerve to sit in it when I'm right there. Feline. I watched a video that the demo used mini-dimensional on top of the pocket and liquid glue on the bottom. Oh, Feline, try and find that again and show me. I'm not sure I understand what it is, but you bought a second set of dies. I love that. I would love to know more about that liquid glue on the bottom pocket, on the bottom of the pocket. Let me know. But does anyone have a guess as to what I used for the pocket? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, this one's so far back. We will put not whisper white. We'll put a basic white panel in there, but not until I know how far up this is going to be. But while I'm waiting for you to guess the label, because I want you to see if you can guess it, I'm going to bring in my envelope punch board. And yes, I know this is retired, but if you don't have one, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them. Silly, silly, silly. But We Are Memory Keepers is the maker of this one. So you can still get it. So for a gift card, if you look on here, it actually says gift card. So it's 2 by 3.5. So we need a 5 by 5 inch piece of paper. I'm not sure that this is focusing. And that first score line is going to be at 2 inches. And because it's a rectangle, we are not going to score them all at 2 inches for the first one. I like to punch first. I don't know why, but you can determine what works for you. Now, if you were making a square, it would go at 2 inches on all 4 sides. But because we're doing a rectangle, we line up that point with our previously scored line. I'm going to try not to press too hard so I don't shake the camera. A little bit. To be honest, I don't understand why things like this ever retire. I feel like every tool that Stampin' Up! Has ever had should always be available. Maybe not in the catalog, but I mean the diagonal scoring plate, that was before my time. And why? Why? Okay, so now we're just going to fold those sides in. And what you can do is you can take some of this off, but I actually, on this one, I just folded it in a little bit because it felt like it was coming up too high and you could very easily miss the fact that a gift card was in there. So I like to just use a little bit of liquid glue. Pop that on down. I mean, you could cut that across, but it might look funny. So I'm just going to take it and fold it in a little bit. Try and get it straight if you can. And I mean, we have a built-in grid here, so How handy is that? Good enough. Sometimes close counts. Get rid of that. I've still got some buttons on there. Okay, so I can fold that down, and you always want to double check that your gift card can fit in there. And if you don't want the person to miss it, then maybe put something on here that says open me or whatever. I see something that says I don't see all the comments, but I can't scroll up. Catherine, you are correct. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so I will put my gift card back there. I will go ahead and add this now. Otherwise, I'm going to forget and I'm going to put it up here and then we're going to be in the same position again. Now, the other thing I found that I was using Seal Plus on here, and because we have the belt buckle and the loops, it was pretty difficult to get a nice even line. So I am going to put this right on the back of our gift card holder. Doesn't this look smart? The red, the navy, the white, power colors. Okay, so that is the gift card part of it. Let's cut our pockets. So yes, Catherine, you are right. They are the Stitch So Sweetly dies. So we are using this guy and this guy. When you are looking to create something like this, you kind of have to get creative and look at your dies and see what you have that could work. So I realized that I needed to have, basically this part is just extra. That is kind of what's keeping the whole thing from falling down. So we don't need that part. I don't think it hurts. If you think it looks silly, let me know and I won't put it on this time. But I needed that and I thought, what kind of looks like a U that has stitching? I could have used one of the new basic border dies, but I thought, nope, this one's going to work just right. And you end up getting 2 of them out of this, which worked out well because I realized after I glued the first set down that I needed to pop it up. So I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to get these in the same place. But because I had used my trimmer, I was able to align them and it worked like a charm. So this time I'm not going to glue the first one on. We will pop it up. Just thinking, should I use foam adhesive sheets? I just trimmed little bits of dimensional before. Go slow so I don't shake it. Okay, so we don't need that, but it doesn't go to waste. You can, if you have a little tag jar, you can toss it in there. This is what mine looks like. So anytime, like look at Creativity Delivered, we had to cut out a whole bunch of stitched rectangles. So I've got a whole bunch of those. I do go through and get rid of retired product, but if I need a tag quickly, chances are I have something in here that might work. So in it goes. Okay, so that is that. What do you think? Do we keep that little bit on there or should I cut it off? And see, my only concern is that if I don't leave that part on, the only piece that's holding this up is that. I know it probably looks funny. It looks even funnier when it's open. And for the fly, we're just going to use little bits from here. So my minis are right here. I'm just going to cut off some little strips. That's probably more than enough for all of that. And I can't exactly maneuver it so that it comes down, but if I cut it, now I can get it to go where I want. Like I said, this will give you 2 sets of pockets. Pockets. That one's not going to go quite as far. Okay. So I'm going to cut that. I did use my trimmer the first time around. That looks like it's about the middle. And then if you do keep that piece, all you have to do is butt it up right there, and they will be exactly the same size. Let's keep that piece on there. Like I said, I want this guy to be a little more upright than the first one was. So the one thing you have to make sure of is that your pocket goes all the way to the edge. I'm like, why aren't you sticking? So all the way to the edge, and you want it to be straight because this is what's keeping your card standing. Woohoo! Now the other one. I do have a little bit of extra dimensional on there. So the second side is easy because you've already got your height figured out. So just take it to the edge. And there we go. Now, I don't know if I'm getting dropped frames or what, but it keeps telling me that it's sending my report, and I'm not done yet.